You may get wealth through those ways. You may get other things, children or whatever, through those means. But when it comes to true life, eternal life, you cannot get it from any of those sources. And when you get the whole thing, which you know that a day will come, you will die and leave them, then at the end, what will be your position? And now, the question is, of what use will those things you get be to you? They will be useless. This morning we read from the book of Genesis, chapter 37. This week's parasha is taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 37 to 40. And I picked two things from there: envy and faithfulness. Envy and faithfulness. In Genesis chapter 37, the Bible said, when Joseph's brothers saw that their father loved him more than them, they were envious of him. Do you understand that? They were what? Envious of him. And when he told them his dreams, they hated him the more. Because his dream was telling them about his greatness. His dream was telling them that he's going to be mightier than them. His dream was telling them that the blessing that will come upon him will be great. And they were not happy with him. Praise God. And then when you read the book of Joshua, you read from chapter 41, you will see. He said that Joseph, always, because of the way his father loved him and took him and pampered him, he always tried to show up. And before his brothers, he always tried to show up. And that was what added to that hatred. Some people have destroyed themselves because of the way they carry themselves along. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Some people have destroyed themselves because of the way they comport themselves. Don't show people more than you have. Even don't show them up to what you have. If you have 1 million, live like somebody that has only 2,000. I'm telling you the truth. If you have 1,000 naira, live like somebody that have only 200 naira. It doesn't stop you from doing the right thing you're supposed to do. It doesn't stop you from carrying out your projects. Do you hear me? Due to the way this young man was carrying himself along before his brothers, they hated him the more. Listen to me. This has nothing to do with your work for the kingdom of Yahweh. You may come here now, destroy this place, rebuild it, do everything, but you will see many people in beer, drinking, their parlor drinking, enjoying themselves. Now you may see people driving big cars, more than 2, 3, 4, but you yourself, you just buy one, managing it, using your resources to do necessary things. You are not the same thing with somebody that will come out and say, I have 1 million. Everybody, come, take any brand of drink you want. You pay, you go. But in your house, you don't have garri to drink. That person is a fool. So don't misunderstand me. Because of the way this young man was carrying himself along, according to the book of Joshua, his brothers hated him. And then what happened? When he was sent to his brother to go and check how they were doing, they saw him far away and plotted against him. When he get to them, they have concluded with their plans on how to destroy him. What did they do? They threw him into a pit. And what next? They sold him to the Midianites. When they were expecting to sell him to the Ishmaelites, the Midianites came first and they drew him out of the pit. They drew him out of the pit. Because of that, the children of Jacob started quarreling with them, and they were forced to pay for Joseph 20 pieces of silver, and they took Joseph away. Because of what they saw on the road, they were forced to sell Joseph to the Ishmaelites, who took him down to Egypt. But I have a question. Did their jealousy and envy make them to be greater than him?
No.
Did their jealousy and envy stop him from being what he was meant to be?
No.
Take away jealousy from you. Take away envy from your heart, so you will not destroy yourself. Wherever you see yourself, in any situation you see yourself, I want you to understand that before you come into this world, Yahweh has a good plan. He has a good plan for you. And I always tell you that it's only you that can destroy that plan. How can that be? When you took if you take the wrong step, you will give the enemy a chance to come into your life and take those things away from you. But if you maintain the right path, the favor of Yahweh will protect you no matter what you pass through or may pass through. You will surely come to your glory. So his brother's envy and jealousy didn't stop him from reaching his target. Neither did it make his brothers to be greater than him. Now what is the need? And what did they get from it? After selling him, they started regretting. They started planning on how to bring him back, but it was not possible for them. Joseph was sold to Egypt. He suffered a lot. I hate this. Praise Yahweh. So, remove anger from your life. Remove envy, jealousy. It can never pay you any good thing. It can only destroy you. Number 2, faithfulness to Yahweh. This is what preserved Joseph. Joseph's faithfulness to Yahweh is what preserved him. It was what made Joseph to become what he became. Not minding what he had run into his life, not minding the ugly experiences in his life, yet he was able to make it because he was faithful. In all situations, he remained faithful to Yahweh. Point number 1. When he was sold into Egypt, Potiphar bought him. And when Potiphar found out that everything in his family was progressing because of Joseph's presence in his family, because Yahweh made him prosperous through Joseph's presence, he made him the chief of his servants. But that was not where Joseph was meant to be. Sometimes you see certain things in your life, you say, why are things like this? Why did these things happen? I thought that I have arrived. I thought that I have made it. I thought that it's now. This is where I have to balance and enjoy. But what is happening? It is because that is not where you are meant to be. Because Yahweh's God's plan for Joseph was never to remain in the house of Potiphar. Yahweh had higher plans for him. Then he caused this thing to happen. He allowed the spirit to enter into his master's wife, to use her to remove Joseph from that house. Had it been that Joseph succumbed to the temptation, what would have happened? That must be, and I don't think that anything will ever take him beyond that level. But his faithfulness to Yahweh preserved him. His faithfulness to Yahweh is what saved him. Life is full of trouble. Life is full of up and down. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of negativity and many things that causes men to fall. But your faithfulness to Yahweh is something that can keep you going. Something that can lift you up from the ground. Something that can deliver you from any ugly situation, no matter how terrible. Your faithfulness to Yahweh. But do you have that faithfulness? The woman did everything possible to get him down. But what did he say? What did he say? He had read this thing for many years. He said, far be it from me that I will sin against Yahweh. Do you understand that? Now, his master's wife placed a heavy allegation upon him. Everyone. But he didn't mind that. He preferred to go to prison. His faithfulness to Yahweh. This is not right in the sight of Yahweh. I will not do it. I know she promised him a lot of good things. Just like many young men of these our days that hope on women to survive. They are looking for a rich woman to marry. And they are suffering for it. They are looking for rich women, daughters of rich men, to do what? To marry. And then you become a slave, whether you like it or not. Either physically or spiritually, you must be a slave. As a man, struggle for your survival. Even you, as a woman, struggle for your sustenance. It must not be your husband bringing and paying every bill. You, as a woman, stand on your feet. Be able to do something. Many of our girls are waiting for rich people to marry them. How many people did you make rich? Huh? Instead of struggling to get something doing, for something to be coming into your pocket, you are looking for somebody rich to marry. And that is why many of them are falling into traps that even end them in debt. Many have run mad. They have run mad. See, Joseph said, far be it from him that he should sin against Yahweh. And that faithfulness of his saved him from that problem. His journey continued to his glory, even though it was very painful. It was very painful, but he was marching towards his glory.